Hey guys, Buckskin Dave here. Grab you a cup of coffee and let's have a powwow. I got a fire going in the shop. It's starting to get warm enough in here. Uh, Winter is starting to set in around here. We're supposed to have probably the 7-day forecast don't look good any one day of them. Some of our highs aren't going to get past the low teens. We're going to have below zero. We've been getting snow an inch or two at a time. Last night, I don't think it put down a little better than an inch, but that's about it. So all the nice fall weather has kind of gone away, and looks like we're going to pay our dues now for a little while anyway. So one of the things I've been doing, I put this Damascus knife. I put a handle on it, and the handle, I don't know how well you can see it, not glare. So anyway, this is a piece of curly maple that I carved off of a stalk that I built. Actually, I think it was the gemmer. It was a piece that I carved off the gemmer, and it made a nice handle for this Damascus. And later today, I'm going to laminate some leather to this beaver tail and make a sheath for it. I'm going to laminate some leather inside. This beaver tail come out really thin, but it is soft. So if I laminate some inside and then we'll stitch it up. And it's not going to be a belt knife sheath. It's going to be either through your belt loop or put it in your possible bag. Anyway, I have got to clean the dust up here from making this handle. Everything's got an inch of dust on it. So that'll be part of the project today. In reloading news, some of the outfitters that are online, Midway and Southwest Shooter Supply, you can put if they're out of stock, you can put a deal where they'll email you when something comes in stock. So they emailed me that some primers were in stock that I had put one of those flags on, and I ended up getting a couple thousand primers. And if it wasn't for my taxes and insurance are due this month, I probably bought a couple thousand more. But things are starting to come around like that. One of the stores in town has primers. They're here and there over the last few. It's one of the feed stores that has a little gun counter. And over the last few times I bought feed, I bought a couple hundred, 300 or 400 primers each time. And that over the last month or so, that's amassed into, almost another, a buck case, 1,000 primers. So Sarah and I have been kind of kicking around trying to go do some cowboy shooting this year at the Cowboy Club. So, and I've got a lot of lead. So I think I'm going to get us outfitted up to shoot this summer at the weekly cowboy match. So mainly didn't shoot it because it was hard to get primers, and I have to buy 45 Colt for both of us to shoot a thing. That's just quite a bit more money than I can do. But I can load them. Well, the primers cost me, some of the primers I got were $60 a thousand. Some of the primers were $100 a thousand. So if you average it out, it's maybe costing me somewhere between 7 and 10 cents for a primer. I figured out my bullets are costing me somewhere between 7 and 10 cents if I buy them from Lasercast or Meister or something like that. Meister still doesn't have a stock. Most of their stuff's out of stock, but Lasercast does. But I've got probably 10 or 15,000 bullets that I bought a while back from a guy that was going out of business making bullets. So I could probably get us about 5 or 6,000 for loaded up. And when you think about it, you got 8 to 10 cents for primers, at 10 cents for a bullet. You're talking 20 or 30 cents around. That's still cheaper than buying it. ammo loaded. So anyway, enough about that. One of the new guns that I bought that I wanted to show you. The weather's really shitty outside. Maybe we'll shoot it right from the door here. The problem is my camera will just go dead out there. It's so cold and nasty. But if the wind ain't blowing, you'll be able to hear me. Anyway, this is something that I bought. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a 1911 fan. And this is a 1911. And it is, as you can see, Colt. Difference on this one, this is 22. It's a dedicated 22. And it's a Colt government model. They call it a rail gun because it does have a rail on the bottom. I didn't care so much about that, but when I got into looking for a gun, a dedicated 22, there's a lot of 1911 dedicated 22s, but I wanted to buy a Colt. And what I discovered is Colt is these 22s are made in Germany. There's two German companies that were listed in my dealer's book. One of them I can't remember. The other one was Walther. So this gun is built in Germany by Walther, or at least, yeah. It's the importer is Walther Arms, made by Karl Walther, Germany. It's a really, really well-made 22. And I bought several extra magazines. They're also made by Walther. It was only $50 more than the other company that I didn't recognize. So I went with Walther just because I'm familiar with the company. And I bought 4 magazines. What's nice about this type of 22 is it's like the one I carry. So I can practice in real time, changing magazines, sight alignment, trigger control, presentation. I can practice with cheaper 22 ammo. But this is life size. I mean, everything's just like it. It has the thumb safety. I'm trying not to get so close that it blurs. It's got thumb safety, combat sights, skeletized hammer and trigger, rubber grips. It's exactly the same. So anyway, one of the things that I like to do in cowboy shooting is what's called the wild bunch. So that also will allow me to practice for wild bunch with my wild bunch holster. This one might not be the one to use. Anyway, this is the 1911 holster, but it's a 1911 holster that won't fit the rail. So I'll have to use one of my other holsters. But I can practice with a 22 now instead of using up my cowboy loads. Anyway, we'll go shoot that. I've shot it already. It shoots really well. It's real accurate, and we'll go out here in a minute maybe and shoot it, see if it's not snowing. Shoot it at 25 yards at some steel. So, some other news is my computer went down on me, and it's caused me a lot of grief. And what went wrong with it, first it was just the battery. Needed to buy a new battery. I was having trouble finding a battery. But I could plug it in, and that really wasn't a serious problem, except the Wi-Fi receptor went down in it. So I couldn't use Wi-Fi at all with it. So I bought another computer, and I didn't spend as much money on it as I paid for this computer many years ago. And it's really slow. And that added with the poor service that I have here, has really made it hard for me to pass these videos on. But I have worked out a system where I can do videos with my old computer. I can put it together and all that, put it on an external hard drive, and then ship it to YouTube with my new computer. that's one of the bigger reasons I haven't been putting stuff going. Plus, it's been cold. I'd like to do shooting for you guys. This camera doesn't work out in the cold. It'll die. So anyway, let's go out and fire a few rounds with this and see what it's. Have some fun.
So one of the things with these is it holds the magazines hold 12 rounds, which is kind of nice. Cowboys usually don't use more than 5 at a time, but the other thing is it's just a 22. It's very accurate. It's a good trapline gun. I mean, you can take your carry gun out of your holster, put your 22 in, and go out and check your traps and have a 22 also. So anyway, let's see if I can hit the metal out there. Well, that's about 30 yards, and they're hitting in the center. It's got white dots on it, which aren't really good combat sights. But if you line up the dots and put it in the center of the metal, and don't screw up your trigger, metal plate, you'll hit it every time. That's 30 yards. So another thing nice about this gun is it holds 12 rounds, which you can load it down if you're cowboy shooting. You know, it's 5 and 5, usually 2 magazines or 3 magazines. So the gun functions good. It's got a good feel to it. Feels just like a 1911.
Okay, let's try this again.
German Colt, 22 caliber. What I like about this one, some of those aftermarket slides that you can buy and put on different guns, so you can shoot 22 through your duty gun or your carry gun or whatever. Some of those won't lock back. This one will lock back, so you could do a quick reload or a tactical reload or whatever you're trying to practice with this gun. So I don't know, I like it. Let's go back into the shop.
Okay, so I know that's not the same kind of gun that you usually come on my channel to see. It's just something I've been working with. I mean, I like them all, but it's kind of a good gun for practice, and I've always enjoyed cowboy shooting, so I'd like to get back into it this year. I don't really have much for you, but I thought we'd chat for a while and get a cup of coffee, and this will be kind of an experiment, another experiment on me getting it from right here in the shop on the computer and over into YouTube. And as that gets to where I'm more confident in getting that done, then and the weather changes a little, we'll start shooting some of the black powder cartridge guns again and loading up and stuff for that. So anyway, that's all I got for you. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.